About 2 weeks ago, I decided to totally deck out my home with Nest. The big addition that I made to my home was the Nest Guard, which took my security cameras up and upgraded them into a security system. There's a few pieces to this. Here we have the centerpiece of the whole set. This is the Nest Guard. It's got a motion sensor at the front. It's got these 3 buttons for what mode you want it in, whether it's off, home and guarding, or away. Now, I've been in homes with security systems before, and they kind of suck, right? Because either you're home or you're away, and you've got these 2 modes, and it doesn't really address some of the concerns that Steph had about our family. Like, she's worried about someone coming in while we're home. And the nice thing is that this HomeGuard mode actually solves that, where it turns off the motion sensors on all the different ports of entry, but if they open, it still sets off an alarm, which is really just the perfect combination of alerting and allowing us to be alive and living in the house. So in addition to the HomeGuard, we have these port of entry sensors. And because it's an expandable kit, I actually bought an extra one. It comes with 2 in the box. And I haven't actually chosen where to put this yet. I'm thinking to put it somewhere in the garage. One of the features I wish that the home security system from Nest had is the ability to hook into other door systems. Like, I have a IoT garage door from Chamberlain, and I wish that the Nest Guard could detect when that garage door was opening or closing, which would really solve that problem of not needing an additional sensor in there. One of the things I did wrong when first installing the door open close sensor is I actually put the big piece on the outer rim, because I thought, hey, it makes sense for the thing that moves more often to be the small little magnet. But that was actually backwards. The Nest Detect devices actually use the accelerometer in the device to detect when a door is opening, so they're not consuming battery full time all the time. So on the Nest Guard itself, we have a keypad here, as well as an NFC sensor, so that if you have a little door tag, you can disable it that way without having to enter a PIN. But if you do want to just use the number code, you just start pressing keys, and then it will
please enter your passcode.
Ask you to enter a passcode. So I can enter my passcode and hit done, and it will turn off. Switching modes is really, really easy. All you do is you just click on the mode that you want. So I'm in HomeGuard mode right now. So when I open a door that is triggered,
The back door was open.
we're gonna get a notification both on my phone
enter your passcode.
and on the Nest Guard, and it's gonna ask me to enter a passcode. Otherwise, it's gonna trigger a really loud alarm, which I'm not gonna do right now because the baby is sleeping. If you take a look at the mobile application, the Nest Guard just shows up in whatever room you install the sensors. You can click here, you can control the mode, and you can see what it's actually sensing at the moment. One of my favorite features is the security history, where you can see all of the times that the sensor and the alarms were turned on and off, what part of the day you were protected, and actually who was making changes to the system. So you can see when the doors were opened, who's turning on and off guards. So whenever the alarm actually is triggered, you're going to get one of these little emails with what actually happened. So I was able to disable this one with the PIN, but you can see that it took actually pictures from all of my Nest cameras and put together a little report of what happened and how it ended. I love this feature. I've never really thought we needed a security system, but just a couple weeks ago there was actually a break-in nearby, and so we decided, hey, maybe let's actually bite the bullet, let's extend our Nest system. And it worked really well because we already had the Nest thermostats, we had a couple Nest cameras, and just by adding another camera, by adding the Nest Guard, we were able to really upgrade our system, and everything worked together really well. I may have gone a little bit crazy because my plan is now to upgrade our system a little bit further with another camera, another Nest Detect if we need it, and then we even bought the front door lock. So this is a door lock that is designed to work with the Nest Guard, and it's got a PIN entry. It actually integrates with the alarm system, so you can automatically turn off the alarm when someone enters the PIN or authenticates, or if they do it with their phone. The only problem with this is that it's not actually compatible with our deadbolt, so I have to go get a new door handle and then combine that with a deadbolt control that is here. When Steph and I decided to get a security system, I was actually expecting it to be really, really annoying to have to kind of control and manage it all the time. But because you get this nice little report of like how much of the day you're protected, it almost feels gamified, where I always want to make sure I'm turning the security system on, and then I love kind of seeing who's turning it on and off throughout the day, so that we have this really nice log of what's happening. I know the log doesn't really matter, but it's still interesting, it's still fun to look at. I think my only concern with having so many Nest cameras in the house is actually the bandwidth usage. So every camera that you want to have tracking something, it uses bandwidth constantly because it's constantly uploading to the cloud so that you can access that footage later. I would probably rate the Nest Guard a 10 out of 10 for ease of use and quality. It's a really good product. I'd probably rate it a 7 out of 10 just because it's so expensive, and every time you want to add another port of entry, you actually have to go spend more money on another Nest Detect. I looked at the concept of getting one for each of our windows, but we have a lot of windows, and each and every single one of those windows would need its own Nest Detect to actually be a part of the system. So instead of doing that, we're just going to rely on the window locks. So that is it for my review of the Nest Guard and the Nest security system. I'm a big fan of it, and I think we're actually going to go ahead and upgrade it and actually pay to integrate it with the local security system, like the Brinks monitoring, where they call the police if the alarm goes off, just because we want to take it to that next level now that we're comfortable using the system. We also had a friend over today, and we were talking about the number of IoT devices in our house. It's getting a little bit ridiculous. Our wireless network has something like 29 devices connected to it, and there's 2.1 people in this house. And just the number of IoT devices, I think it's up over 50 now with all the Google Homes, things like the Aware, the Nest cameras, the Switch, our wireless sous vide. IoT is getting crazy in this house, and I want to do more technology reviews of the technology that we use in the house because I think it's a really cool part of kind of who we are. It's a cool part of how I approach life, which is using the right sort of technology to do whatever I want to do and then automating as much of my life as possible.